a story here about Joe Biden. So yes, he is back in the news. And no, this is not good news for him. You see, it appears a whistleblower has come forward and has some things to say about Joe Biden's time when he was vice president. So this is information that goes back to Obama's administration. And this whistleblower, they're claiming that Joe Biden actually was involved in a criminal scheme. Let's get into it. This is interesting, ladies and gentlemen.
We have credible information that this possible criminal activity took place, and I can't verify whether or not it's really criminal activity, but I do have faith in the whistleblowers.
Well, things are again heating up with the Biden family scandals. Senators James Comer and Chuck Grassley are alleging that a whistleblower has claimed the FBI and the Department of Justice have something very incriminating in their possession. They say that the whistleblower says the Bureau and DOJ have documents proving then Vice President Joe Biden was involved in a criminal scheme where a foreign national paid him money in exchange for policy decisions.
That is a criminal action. You know, it's interesting too, right? Considering they just charged Amali Yeshitela and other Black socialists that were part of the Huru movement for claiming to be Russian. They actually claimed that they were Russian agents. They are not, obviously, but that's what they are alleging. So the DOJ had charged them. Amali Yeshitela has been released, by the way. I'll get into that story another time because there's more that goes into that. But at the same time, here you have, and this person claimed to have evidence. They are alleging that you have a sitting president that when he was vice president, he was paid by a foreign national. This is a serious crime. Like, this is not like something it's not a walk in the park here. It's not. Let's go on.
Because of this, James Comer, who is the House Oversight Committee's chairman, and Chuck Grassley, who is a Senate Budget Committee ranking member, have issued a subpoena for the FBI to hand over the document. According to the two, the document is an FBI-generated FD 1023 form alleging it details an arrangement involving an exchange of money for policy decision. In a statement, Senator Grassley wrote, "We believe the FBI possesses an unclassified internal document that includes very serious and detailed allegations implicating the current President of the United States. What we don't know is what, if anything, the FBI has done to verify these claims or investigate further. The FBI's recent history of botching politically charged investigations demands close congressional oversight." Senator Comer wrote, "The information provided by a whistleblower raises concerns that then Vice President Biden allegedly engaged in a bribery scheme with a foreign national. The American people need to know if President Biden sold out the United States of America to make money for himself."
Just going to pause there for a second. I want to explain something to you. Yeah. Did you guys know that one of the things that's checked, like if you join the United States military, one of the things they do is they check your credit, right? Now, some people may wonder, well, why do they do that? They check your credit basically to see what your credit score is, because that can determine whether or not you would be more likely to be persuaded to give up information to a foreign national for money. That's one of the things that they do. So there have been people that have not passed that. People I've known that have not passed that part and have not gotten into the military because of that. But this is serious. And why would Joe Biden be in a type of financial need where he would need to do that? That's right. 2008 B. Scott. Yep. Easily compromised. Yeah, it's true. Like, this is something that they look at, that you could be easily compromised. I'm pretty sure something might be similar for the FBI and those agencies as well, too. They probably look into the same thing. But the thing is that he was vice president at that time. So why would he have needed that money? Let's go on a little bit more. And then I have another clip I want to show you as well.
Senator Grassley and I will seek the truth to ensure accountability for the American people. But of course, the White House dismissed the allegations as politically motivated attacks. The statement read, For going on 5 years now, Republicans in Congress have been lobbying unfounded, unproven, politically motivated attacks against the president and his family without offering evidence for their claims or evidence of decisions influenced by anything other than US interests. That's because they prefer floating anonymous innuendo amplified by the megaphone of their allies in right-wing media to get attention.
But politically motivated, we could say the same thing about what just happened to Donald Trump, right? Didn't we say the same thing, that the Democratic Party, yes, you know, Trump needs to be held accountable, but at the same time, we knew that this was politically motivated. We knew they were going after him because they don't want him to be president again. So, I mean, you know, karma sucks. Like, karma really, really, really sucks. And now you have the Democratic Party, you know, saying similar things, that like, hey, this is politically motivated, that the GOP is trying to uncover this information about Joe Biden. Well, this is karma. This is seriously karma. Did they honestly think that they weren't going to try to come back with something?
Two Republican senators have been highly critical of the Biden family, especially James Comer, who is leading the Oversight Committee's investigation into the Biden family's business schemes. When the Republican Party won back control of the House in the midterm elections, GOP members on the committee had vowed to investigate the family after Hunter Biden's laptop revealed potentially dodgy business relationships with China and Ukraine. In October last year, Chuck Grassley alleged that whistleblowers told him that Joe Biden was aware of his son Hunter's business deals and may have been involved in some, despite maintaining he has no knowledge of any of his son's overseas commercial relationships. A few weeks later, both Senator Grassley and Senator Johnson shared 200 pages of Hunter Biden's bank records with US Attorney David Weiss, who was investigating the president's son. The bank statements transmitted to Mr. Weiss alleged the Biden family's connection to the Chinese regime and persons connected to its military and intelligence elements. Now, this federal probe being operated out of Delaware is looking into just Hunter Biden and whether he committed tax crimes and lied on a form in relation to the purchase of a firearm.
Now, we did already discuss that, but there's another clip that I do want to show you as well, because people are talking about this differently, again, as you can imagine. So I do want to, she's a little lukewarm. Sorry, I didn't mean it that way, but she's just kind of, you need to see this version here from News Nation as well, because they get into it a little bit further. And I also thought that their commentary on this was interesting as well, because again, you see the bias. Like I said, like they weren't saying this when the Democratic Party went after Donald Trump, but now that the GOP is going after Joe Biden, now they feel, you know, the same way that Trump supporters felt when this was done to him. So this is karma at its finest.
Some news this afternoon as two top Republicans have now subpoenaed the FBI for a document that an unmanned whistleblower, they say, claims that the then Vice President Joe Biden was involved in a criminal scheme, as they put it, with a foreign national. News Nation's Joe Khalil is on Capitol Hill. Joe, this broke this afternoon. What is this all about?
Yeah, so this is a bombshell allegation, obviously, Blake, but I do want to be very clear and upfront with our viewers right now. At this point, it is simply that, an allegation. So here's what we're able to confirm. Somebody, a whistleblower with some kind of knowledge with FBI documents, went to Senator Chuck Grassley's office.
So what you have to understand is the whistleblower had FBI documents. They have information to prove what they're saying. So that's huge. We don't know who the person is, obviously, but for them to have that documentation, it sounds like they have a solid case here. Let's go on.
And basically said within these FBI documents, there is a claim that someone made that then Vice President Biden accepted in some form of a bribe money from a foreign national who was trying to influence the policy of the Obama-Biden administration. Now, that
was the piece I wanted you to hear. Trying to influence the policy of the Obama-Biden administration. And more is going to come out, guys. What did I tell you a couple of days ago? I said everything's going to start coming out. When we talked about this whole connection with Jeffrey Epstein and Noam Chomsky, I was like, oh, more information is coming out. More of these secret, I don't want to say secret societies, but these secret meetings and private closed door dinners. More information is going to come out. The Twitter files was just the beginning, you know, and I'm glad that was able to happen. But that wasn't the end of it. That's the thing. More and more people are going to start to become comfortable coming forward with information. Let's go on.
Whistleblower, again, brought these to Senator Chuck Grassley. As you know, Blake, Republicans in the Senate don't have a majority and therefore cannot issue a subpoena. So what the senator's office did is hand this information over to the House side, to the chairman of the House Oversight Committee, Jim Comer, because Republicans in the House, as you know, do have a majority and can issue a subpoena. That is exactly what the chairman did today, issuing one to the FBI, basically asking for this one document that explains this claim. They want to know more. And frankly, as we report this, our sources and lawmakers themselves, there's a lot that they don't know that they want to find out. In fact, part of Senator Chuck Grassley's letter says here, and we'll put it up on your screen for you here, he says, quote, "What we don't know is what, if anything, the FBI has done to verify these claims or investigate further. The FBI's recent history of botching politically charged investigations demands close congressional oversight." So that, too, guys, is a pretty loaded claim there from Senator Chuck Grassley. I just want to leave you with one more thing. I've been talking to my sources today. Republicans in the House have been wanting to flag for some time now suspicious activity when it comes to the banking records of President Biden and of his son. I'm told today they ruled that out. Whatever this thing is not related to those investigations. They're going to be entirely separate issues.
Now he has two separate issues. Two. The banking, we talked about the IRS documents. We talked about that. I think that was like a week or two ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. And now this particular issue, the bribery issue. So these are not connected.
So that is what we know right now. Obviously, still, guys, trying to learn quite a bit more about this.
Joe Khalil up on Capitol Hill, breaking it all down. Joe, thank you. Appreciate it. So, Chris Stirewalt, Republicans have been trying to get at President Biden and his family's finances for a while now. Is this like the big reveal, or is this sort of just the next thing in the iteration?
Here's the funny part. The Democratic Party has done the same thing with Donald Trump. The Democratic Party has been trying to get at Donald Trump and his financial, his finances as well. You see what I mean? This is what I'm saying about karma. I don't even think he realized what he just said. For him to tell you, well, the Republicans, they've been trying to go after Joe Biden and his finances for a while now, the same way that the Democratic Party went after Donald Trump and his finances. There you go.
The White House says has been going on for years.
I'm getting Adam Schiff vibes. I'm getting very Schiffy kind of energy out of these House Republicans right now. The statement that Comer puts out raises concerns that then Vice President Biden allegedly engaged in a bribery scheme. Okay, now look, if you want to accuse the sitting president of bribery, come with the stuff. Come with the stuff. What I watched Democrats do with Donald Trump over 4 years was leak and raise expectations and then fail to meet the expectations. Leak, expectation, fail, over and over and over again. And by the end, there were so many investigations and there was so much blibber blabber that it never stuck. What the House Republicans should be doing if they want to prove malfeasance.
Is he right? Does he have a point? How the Democrats was doing that with Donald Trump when he was still president, when he was still in office. They were like, oh, we got him on this one. We got him on that. We got him on this. And then it would there was nothing, no documentation, nothing to prove that was correct or was incorrect information. Is he correct that you should just come forward with all the evidence that you need to make sure that people don't have this back and forth that the Democratic Party had with Donald Trump and his finance information? Something to think about.
They ought to get the evidence and not the publicity for trying to get the evidence. This is a political mistake.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com.
You are a little too chipper for me in the evening. So JB says that Sabby, Biden admitted that he was in financial trouble because of his son having health issues and helped his son. He got financial help from Obama. I remember him talking about it. Oh, that's interesting. And JB says, and people look at me weird when I say Biden and Trump are the same. Right? Now you see it now, don't you? You guys see it now. So I don't really know like where this is going to go. I have a little short document here. House Republicans seek FBI document. They say alleges scheme involving Biden. And like I said, this is just payback basically for what the Democrats did with Donald Trump. They weren't going to let that go. They were going to dig for some things too. They probably already knew. So again, it says the White House on Wednesday denounced as anonymous innuendo a subpoena issued by the powerful House Oversight Committee demanding the FBI produce a record related to an alleged criminal scheme involving then Vice President Joe Biden and a foreign national. Now, even now, they still haven't released the name of the foreign national, so just keep that in mind. And then this piece here, the subpoena sets a May 10 deadline for all FD 1023 forms that were created or modified in June 2020 containing the word Biden along with related attachments and other documents. So I don't know. We'll have to continue to follow this story. But if I know just how angry the GOP may be right now at the Democrats going after Donald Trump, they're probably not going to let this go. So just something to keep in mind. If you haven't had a chance to do so, go ahead and smash that like button. Thank you guys so much. That helps me with the algorithm. Going to go to a couple of comments here. Thank you for the super sticker, Zero Campbell. Bad Cookie says, please, if there is a God, please let this happen. You have to take down the Joseph Kennedy III picture. It's driving me crazy. Thank you for the super chat, Janice. Partisan hacks are all hypocrites. They all hold the opposition to standards they won't even acknowledge their own side cannot meet. Well said, Janice. And thank you for the super chat, Roger Meadows. No parties. You'll see a lot more impeachments. That's a good point. It's a good point. You'd have no reason to back them like as a person, right?